I wish we could get into all the weeds and all the nuances of Love Jones, but today we're going to be focusing on something a little bit more geared towards the spirituality aspect of the relationship, okay, and how that kind of plays out. Have you ever considered how your beliefs of God affect the way your relationship plays out with anybody? You might not think about it consciously, but this actually has a lot to do with the way we navigate relationships with each other, especially romantic relationships. And that's kind of what we're seeing in the movie Love Jones, right? Because we get a little glimpse as to how they view God. And with that, we can determine some of the ways that those beliefs either unconsciously or subconsciously played into a lot of the actions that these two did while they were together or while they've known each other, because they weren't together the whole movie. For lack of a better phrase, it was, as the modern kids say, toxic.
Oh my God.
So we're going to get into it by first looking at this clip that kind of sets the tone to where we're going with this conversation.
God is a woman, honey.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
No, hold up. God is a woman.
Look, D. You know, hey, we went through and everything.
If you ever
Hater.
trust a woman, you know that women have a certain power, a certain sexual thing that renders men totally incapable of functioning. Am I right, Vaughn? I mean,
That's
that
right.
shit drives us to distraction.
That's right. Destruction. Look at that kitchen.
Okay.
Go look in that kitchen.
A male god would never allow a creature made in his own image to get jammed up like that.
Wait, excuse me. But why are you trying to impress your date?
I ain't trying to
You
impress
know,
nobody.
you wouldn't even
You
say
know,
that.
he ain't do. He just telling the truth. I was wondering where he was
Yo,
going.
Savon, won't you go ahead and break it down for those who don't quite understand what I'm talking about? Break it down for me, brother.
Oh, well, hold up. Let me break it down so it can forever and consistently be
Broken.
All right? Now, when a man gets a hard on, you know where the blood comes from, right?
I love that part.
You know where the blood comes from, right? His brain
In his feet.
and his feet.
True.
So A, he's stupid, and B, he can't run. Only a woman God thinks of some shit like that.
That's how she got you, right? That's it. That's what happened. That's what happened. But nah, see, that's some bullshit, because I got it down. I figured it out.
This has become a
Oh,
regular
wait.
forum.
What?
Yeah, all right.
I'm for real.
We getting ready to have some Hollywood philosophizing.
Yes. Hollywood got the answer.
Oh, man.
Think about this. Anatomy. Now, if God was really a woman, y'all know how God thinks. She'd put the dick right under the chin. She'd take care of her business. Why? Oh, man. Hey, it
Yeah, and you get no ships, man.
Y'all sure know how to treat a person.
That scene always cracks me up. But yeah, clearly, okay, let's explain the context around that scene, right? So it's Nina and Darius's first real get together, first real date, right? He invites her out to hang out with his friends at, his name is Savon's house,
exactly.
right? Savon has a wife, so, you know, that was his wife on him. It was the guy basically explaining how, you know, one, he's stupid, two, he's motionless. Basically, he can't run nowhere, right? So this is all happening, and of course, they're explaining the concept of who God is, right? You can clearly see from that there are different ideas.
Exactly.
What's her name? Oh goodness, what is her name?
Who?
The woman in the group, in the friend group.
Okay, we're just gonna call her woman number two.
Oh my God, no! I had
name.
her name. What is her name? Sorry, y'all. I have to know her name
Oh,
so
my
I can know
goodness.
this.
But
No, wait. Sheila. Sheila. Okay, Sheila is the one that first says that God is a woman, right? Whereas, Hollywood is talking about, he briefly talked about Jesus, said, I know Jesus, right? And
I mean, Darius actually, he actually mentioned it too, because he said
Darius mentioned Jesus?
yes. Well, I'm gonna say he has a context of somewhere he has read the Bible, because he said, "Hey, if we are made in His image."
Well, that's yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, but a lot of the world knows a lot of what the word says. You know what I mean? Like, they know about the story of Adam and Eve without ever reading the Bible. They know about Noah's Ark without ever picking up a Bible. They know about a lot of different concepts, like love of money, root of all evil. They know these things, but they don't know these things. They don't know the context around them. So yeah, he probably knows that, but I don't think he really knows, because think about it. If he knows something, I honestly think he would have stuck around the Jesus conversation if that was the case.
Okay, I can see that, but I see it a little bit different, because he is a writer, and so, in order to be a great writer, you got to be a phenomenal reader. And so I just think that he basically taps into a lot of different things, and that's why he doesn't have like any true foundation in it.
I see why you say that. So there's no real foundation or understanding of God. That's actually a huge problem.
Maybe surface level.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, all of them was kind of surface level.
It was a cultural misunderstanding of God in that room, right?
And we definitely have to bring back those type of, kickbacks. Just everybody having, different ideas, and, all of us learning from each other, like stuff like that. It's nostalgia to me, and like, we just got to get it back somehow.
We do, because we can hear different perspectives on things, like we did when that conversation was taking place.
Exactly.
Like, for example, I wonder, a conversation I would probably have at a get together like that is, if we have no clear understanding of who God is, how can we understand ourselves? If we're made in His image, as we all understand and know that throughout different religions and cultures, that's typically what we have a unified understanding of ourselves, that we're made in His image. Well, if we know that and we don't know God, how can we understand our own purposes and our own foundation and our own path in life, basically? How can we fully know that if we don't understand who God is? Which is why probably we have all these relationships that don't go anywhere, or they go straight to the dumpster.
Exactly.
Because we don't know how to operate within ourselves, so how can we operate with somebody else?
Yes, a whole nother imperfect, human being.
Exactly.
That brings on like a whole suitcase of things. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, who is God, right? Who is God?
God is Him, Elohim, and that is the Hebrew, context.
What is
Elohim?
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I've heard that before,
But God is Him.
He is. I mean,
that's a statement in itself.
Exactly. I mean, He operates, within what the world would call the masculine and the feminine, which is why I think that they went that way with that conversation.
True.
Because they're like, well, if God is essentially genderless and we see Him as a nurturing God, why can't He be a woman?
Yeah.
Why can't He be? Well, He's not a woman, because by that standard, you're placing Him in a box. God doesn't go in a box. And by His authority, He's saying, call me the Father.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you look at just that whole little, that video, they always put in, and I would say they was all putting God in a small little box, and based on their perspective and their philosophy in life. So Sheila, she was on the standpoint of, well, God is woman, is because even though she wasn't a main character, you can tell that she was a very powerful, figure, and she was very thoughtful and conscious of her surroundings and everything, and also who she is. And so I would hear her, and then of course Wood He's just a whole goofball to me, and I really don't think a lot
He's
of
a
people.
wannabe Darius.
Yes. And then you have Darius, so he want to be cool, he want to impress Nina, but
You think he's really trying to impress Nina? I really think that's his philosophy.
well,
I think it's both.
yeah, exactly. I think that's part of his philosophy, but actually, that's actually really good that you said that, is because so he's all about. I'm not gonna say he's all about him, but a lot of him is about his sexual desires, because he reduced God to basically a human characteristic,
Yes.
and that's sexual desire. That's the first thing that he brought up. He was like, well, God is woman because of
Because of a male or female trait.
exactly that sexual trait.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really good. We kind of see that being played out in their relationship a lot, that philosophy that he has, and reducing the abstract concepts into something as basic as the physical within sex. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I like that you said that, because he did, and Savon, Wood, all the other men in the room also did this, reduced God to the sexual limitations of men, right?
Exactly.
They're saying, God can't be a man because only a woman can render a man useless like this, right? Darius was saying, he wouldn't allow a man to be created in his image to be bogged down sexually like that, So they aren't realizing that, yes, man was created in God's image, but God is not man.
1000%.
He's above that. He's everything else, including that. And so it's funny how we're seeing that kind of played out in that space. And even within the friend group too, because I got a lot to say about Mr. Wood over there being a hater. And even Savon, Savon went through a lot too. And you can see that being played out, like
How?
with Savon and his wife.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they had a lot of issues. He was showing up to parties with a different woman.
Yeah, and I would say
His wife and his son moved out at
Yeah.
some point during the film.
Yeah, see, that's something that we truly don't know about, because they didn't give us too much context on why she left.
I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the important part, which is why they didn't give us that much context on it. Because at the end, they did come back together.
Okay.
I
see that.
Yeah, there's a lot to say on Savon as well. And, this philosophy that all the men, and Sheila, we don't really know Nina's thoughts, but I'm going to get to her in a minute. But, all the men in the room basically saying the same thing, and basically, reducing God into this box, this man-made box. And we'll talk a lot more about Darius and Nina's relationships, but right now with Savon and his wife, it's kind of like, because he has no foundation of who God is, he also doesn't know how to operate in that relationship, which is essentially why we saw it play out the way that did as well, with her leaving the house, him finding dates to other things, him basically saying if he doesn't, know what a soulmate is anymore, or if that's even a real thing. But we'll talk more about that too.
See, what she hasn't, given you the background story. I just feel like that maybe they reached that rough patch in their marriage to where things aren't spicy anymore. Because early on in the movie, they talked about that.
Wait, we're gonna talk about that later.
Okay. I was just trying to give them some context.
You can give more. You can give context. You can give context. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just didn't want you to go into too much detail because you be cooking.
Okay.
I just didn't want you to give too much away because I wanted you to save it.
Okay, so basically, early on, they were talking about marriages and relationships not lasting, and so Darius, with his smooth self, he said that a lot of times what people are saying is, like, when the thrill is gone, is that they don't know about the possibility, or they giving up on the possibility. That means that you got two people that aren't trying anymore. Two people who haven't, chasing after that love and want to get that enthusiasm back about, loving that person and, things of that. Because it's always something that you can do because everything in life is a choice at the end of the day.
Right, exactly. Darius's beliefs about God and him essentially reducing God to the sexual limitations of man. Again, we see that play out in his relationship with Nina because sex really did complicate Darius and Nina's relationship before they were even intimately together in that way, right? Because think about it. The first interaction that they truly had was when Darius wrote that poem for Nina. Actually, he didn't even write it for her. He just stuck her name on it. A blues for Nina, right?
Yeah,
he didn't write it for her. He was already going to perform that. He just called it that to, impress her.
I really feel like they probably met each other before, but there could be,
Like, are you assuming that, or was there a hint in the movie?
I'm just assuming that.
Why do you think they met before?
Because I feel like just how they actually met at the bar.
Yeah.
And then, he was playing like he was all distraught. And, that right there drew her in. And so, like, I feel like they met before or he didn't seen her before. I mean, because I don't think that he got her name at that time, like, whenever,
He didn't?
No, I don't think so.
I think he did.
Okay, but either way, it was smooth no matter what.
I mean, it was very smooth, yeah. I'm pretty sure they introduced themselves at that time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did, because I think they shook hands and everything.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah. But that poem, it had the whole female audience about to hop out.
How about they draws?
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, hey, baby. Can I be your slave?
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, because think about it. That poem was sexual in nature, right? Causing Nina to be aroused, yet also guarded.
Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, he got in that spirit real
Yet she
good.
was also guarded, right?
She was on the guard because
It doesn't
her
matter.
and that other boy didn't, make it.
That doesn't make sense.
It does.
How?
She was on the guard. So she doesn't want to get another heartbreak, all right? Okay, so yeah, she was guarded, but it's only because of, she knew that she had unfinished business. You know, so.
I'm gonna get to that too, because Nina was moving too fast, in my opinion. She should have took some time to get that settled before diving into something else. But we gonna get there, I think. I think we are.
Before we get there, I'm gonna leave the people with a quote. Sometimes the heart sees what is invisible to the eyes. And so she knew and she could feel that type of chemistry because even throughout the movie, it actually, said that love doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And so, I truly believe in that quote.
Yeah.
Look like we got a comment.
We do.
Oh, we got $5 from Kenya McIntosh.
Super chat. Thanks, Kenya. We appreciate that. She said, loving the perspectives y'all are bringing up. I personally didn't like Love Jones because it was toxic, but I do see the artistic flair.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, someone doesn't like your movie.
How dare you, Kenya? You know what?
How you feel about her saying it's toxic?
I think Kenya don't know what she's talking about.
You don't think it's toxic at all?
No. I think that's human nature that's unfiltered, So I truly...
Humans can be toxic.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. But I don't think any of their interactions was actually meant to make stuff messy.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think any of that was meant to be septic at all. I just really, really think that, hey, I like this person. I'm liking all the things that they, bring, all of that artistic flair that, Kenya talked about because, of course, he's a writer.
It was a vibe.
Yes. And
The movie.
Yes. other artistic people love someone else that can bring something, new to their, life or whatever. And so, like, I mean, oh, hey, Mama.
It's Mama Shirley.
Mama Shirley.
Hey. Ooh. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I hear you, and I get that. I do. Humans can be messy. That's just the nature of being alive, right? We get a little messy sometimes, which is why I said, sex complicated their relationship, because yes, the poem aroused Nina, but she was guarded, and I believe that guardedness of her heart came from the way of her feeling that it was all out of order. You're already talking to me about sex, and I just gave you my name. I didn't even give you my number yet. In fact, after this, you're gonna stalk me. That's another problem in itself.
Lorenz Tate said,
but maybe it was different back in the 90s. I don't know.
Lorenz Tate said, I'm trying to be that blues in your left and that funk in your right.
Okay.
Is that all right?
But of course, we see all of that play out in their relationship, which is why when we get back, we're going to discuss the consequences of God not being the center of your relationship.
Fight for the algorithm.